Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, 25th chapter, text 62. This chapter is entitled as Characteristics of King Purañjana. This is the last verse of this chapter. Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroti ajñaḥ klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā. Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroty klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā. Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroti klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā. Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroti klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā.
Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroty klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā.
Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroty klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā.
Mataji's
Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroty klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā.
Vipralabdhaḥ, captivated. Mahiṣyā, by the queen. Evam, thus. Sarva, all. Prakriti, existence. Vañcitaḥ, being cheated. na icchan, without desiring, anukaroti, used to follow and imitate, ajñaḥ, the foolish king, klaibyāt, by force, krīḍā-mṛgo, a pet animal, yathā, just like. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. In this way, King Purañjana was captivated by his nice wife and was thus cheated. Indeed, he became cheated in his whole existence in the material world. Even against that poor foolish king's desire, he remained under the control of his wife, just like a pet animal that dances according to the order of his master. Please repeat after me. In this way, King Purañjana was captivated by his nice wife and was thus cheated. Indeed, he became cheated in his whole existence in the material world. Even against the poor foolish king's desire, he remained under the control of his wife, just like a pet animal that dances according to the order of his master. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word vipralabdho is very significant in this verse. Vi means specifically and pralabdha means obtained. Just to satisfy his desires, the king got the queen, and thus he became cheated by material existence. Although he was not willing to do so, he remained a pet animal under the control of material intelligence. Just as a pet monkey dances according to the desires of his master, the king danced according to the desires of the queen. In Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.2 it is said, mahiṣyaivaṁ dvaram ahur vimuktehe. If one associates with a saintly person, a devotee, one's path for liberation becomes clear. But if one associates with a woman or with a person who is too much addicted to a woman, his path of bondage becomes completely clear. On the whole, for spiritual advancement, one must give up the company of women. This is what is meant by the order of sannyas, the renounced order. Before taking sannyas or completely renouncing the material world, one has to practice avoiding illicit sex. Sex life, illicit or illicit, is practically the same. But through illicit sex, one becomes more and more captivated. By regulating one's sex life, there is a chance that one may eventually be able to renounce sex or renounce the association of women. If this can be done, advancement in spiritual life comes very easily. How one becomes captivated by the association of one's dear wife is explained in this chapter by Narad Muni. Attraction for one's wife means attraction for material qualities. One who is attracted by the material quality of darkness is in the lowest stage of life, whereas one who is attracted by the material quality of goodness is in a better position. Sometimes we see that when a person is on the platform of material goodness, he is attracted more or less by the cultivation of knowledge. This is, of course, a better position, for knowledge gives one the preference to accept devotional service. Unless one comes to a platform of knowledge, the Brahma-bhuta stage, one cannot advance in devotional service. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18:54, Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakting labhate param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state he attains pure devotional service unto me. The platform of knowledge is advantageous because it is a means by which one may come to the stage of devotional service. However, if one takes to devotional service directly, knowledge is revealed without separate endeavor. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-7. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayat Tasu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Jad Ahaitukam. Devotional service automatically reveals actual knowledge of our material existence. One who is sufficiently intelligent immediately attains the stage of renunciation of so-called society, family, and love, as well as other things. As long as we are attached to society, family, and love of the material world, there is no question of knowledge, nor is there a question of devotional service. By directly taking to devotional service, however, one becomes filled with knowledge and renunciation. In this way, one's life becomes successful. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 25th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Descriptions of the Characteristics of King Purañjana. Vipralabdho mahiṣyaivaṁ sarva-prakṛti-vañcitaḥ necchann anukaroti klaibyāt krīḍā-mṛgo yathā. So, translation is, in this way King Purañjana was captivated by his nice wife and was thus cheated. Indeed, he became cheated in his whole existence in the material world. Even against that poor foolish king's desire, he remained under control of his wife, just like a pet animal that dances according to the order of its master. The word for that is krīḍā-mṛgo. Krīḍā means play and mṛga means animal. So, the animals, pet animals, becomes like a puppet in the hands of his master, the way the master makes him dance. I don't know whether you get monkey dancers here. I don't see it here, but in Calcutta it used to be quite common. Like they used to have a dugdugi and they would play it and the monkey would dance. And they would have all kinds of performance. They would show the monkey getting married, monkey falling in love with a she-monkey, and then the monkey getting married, then the monkey having some she-monkey having some abhiman. She is fighting with the husband, and so krīḍā-mṛgo. So here Purañjana, the spirit soul, has been described as Purañjana, and he is now captivated by the material energy. The material energy comes in a very fascinating way in the form of material intelligence. And this material intelligence provokes him to enjoy in the material nature. Allures him, come, there is so much enjoyment here. So this is an allegorical story. Allegorical story means it's an example. Through this story, some lesson is conveyed. that lesson is, as I mentioned the other day, Narad Muni is instructing King Prachinabarhi. If he went and told him, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul, so become engaged in devotional service, Prachinabarhi could understand that, because those who are too involved in materialistic activities, it's very difficult for them to understand the wisdom of the over-self, wisdom of the spiritual reality. Therefore, they have to be presented in a certain way. Just like a child who doesn't want to take a medicine is given a sugar-coated medicine. He tastes the sugar, he likes it. And by taking the medicine, this is how he is given the medicine. So, a pure devotee like Narad Muni knows the art of preaching. So he goes to different people, and according to their ability, Narad Muni gives them Krishna consciousness. There are so many such wonderful stories in Srimad Bhagavatam. Another story is the story of Chitraketu. Chitraketu was so attached to having a child, and by the mercy of Angira Rishi, he got a child. But the child died prematurely. The child was poisoned by his stepmothers. And when the king was so heartbroken, like he got his child after so much waiting, after so much endeavor, his desire now was fulfilled, he got a child. So he became so attached to the child, but the child was poisoned, killed. And so when he was lamenting, then Narad Muni came and instructed him. So Narad Muni is the giver of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narada. He bestows his mercy, and as a result of that, one gets devotional service. There are so many such incidences how Narad Muni delivered so many living entities. I remember in school, we had a Hindi story. In our Hindi lesson, that story was, Fufkaro lekin kato mat. Did anyone read that story? No? Okay. You see, one snake came in contact with Narad Muni, and he became a devotee. And Narad Muni told him that don't bite, don't bite people, just give up your violent nature. So after a while, Narad Muni came and saw that snake was almost dead. So he asked, what happened? Why are you in this condition? He said, since you told me to be non-violent, to give up violence, I accepted, and now everybody is beating me up. Children see me, they throw stones. People hit me up with sticks. And as a result of that, I am in this condition. So in this way, you can see Narad Muni bestows his mercy even to a snake. Even a snake can receive the mercy of Narad Muni. But anyway, so Narad Muni then told him, I told you not to bite, but not to show your hood. That force, the fufkarna. Do that. So when people try to be nasty with you, then show your hood. But don't bite them. And you know, Narad Muni came across Mrigari, a hunter. Mrigari became a devotee. Valmiki was a bandit, Dasyu Ratnakar. By coming in contact with Narad Muni, he became a pure devotee. Ratnakar was a bandit, dacoit. His business was to kill people and rob them of their wealth. He used to stay by the forest, and when people used to go by, he would steal their wealth, and sometimes he would even kill them. So one day Narad Muni was going by, and he caught hold of Narad Muni. So, what did Narad Muni have? Probably he only had his veena. But he thought, even this veena I can sell in the market and get some money. So, then Narad Muni asked him, why are you accepting this occupation? Do you remember how much sinful activities you are accruing because of that? So, he said, look, I have to maintain my family. So, I am doing it. So Narad Muni asked, but will your family members take to your sins? Will they share your sinful activity? He said, sure, I am doing it for them. They should share it. So Narad Muni said, why don't you go and ask them? Very smart, Ratnakar said. You think I'll go home and to ask them, and in the meantime he'll run away? Narad Muni said, no, you can tie me up to a tree. So he did that, tied him up to a tree. He went home, he asked his wife, look, you're my other half, so will you share my karma? The first he asked, do you know what I do, how I bring money to maintain you? She said, no. He said, I kill people. I rob people. And that is how I bring money to maintain you. So will you share my sinful reaction? She said, why should I? At the time of marriage, you made a condition that you will maintain me and take care of all my needs. So it's your business, it's your duty. So he was very disappointed. He went to his father, said the same thing. I maintained you when you were a child, and now that you grew up, it's your duty to take care of me. Why should I share your sinful reaction? He went to his mother, said the same thing. So by that time, back to his senses. So then he went and asked Narad Muni. Fell at his feet, said, please tell me, what can I do? I have committed so many sinful activities. I have to stay in hell forever because of that. Then Narad Muni told him to chant the holy name of the Lord. And as a result of that, he became a pure devotee, Valmiki. Ramayana manifested in his heart even before Lord Ramchandra appeared. Such a pure devotee. So this is how Narad Muni bestows his mercy to the living entities. Practically everyone has to receive Narad Muni's mercy to achieve pure devotional service. Vasudev also received Narad Muni's mercy. Now we are singing about two sons of Nalakuber and Manigriv. They also received Narad Muni's mercy. That mercy came in the form of a curse. Narad Muni cursed them, and the curse became a source of mercy. So this way Narad Muni is a very special personality, and to us, Narad Muni is our Param Guru. From Brahma, it's Narad Muni. Vedas took two branches. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, materialistic branch, and spiritual branch. Spiritual side is upheld by Narad Muni. So here also we are seeing how Narad Muni is bestowing his mercy upon King Prachina Barhishat. And in this way, by hearing these stories, we get to know about pure devotional service. We get the actual knowledge, the real knowledge. And what is the real knowledge? Don't get attached to materialistic way of life. Material nature is trying to tie us down by making us forget about Krishna and becoming attached to the material nature. But in order to undo that, we have to develop our attachment to Krishna through sadhu sangha, by association of devotees. Thank you very much. I'm going through some treatment, and today my main treatment started. You know how it started? Drinking ghee. And I drank a lot of ghee this morning. Tastes very good. But it is like ghee is good when it is little quantity. 1 chammach, 2 chammach theek hai. But today I had to drink 50 milliliters of ghee. And it will keep on increasing. Okay, so I was told not to speak too much in the class today. So I will stop now. Does anybody have any question? I can take a few questions. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, sure.
Maharaj, you just mentioned about Narad Muni, that everybody has to get the mercy of Narad Muni. So how do we get his mercy?
Aren't you getting his mercy already? How did you come to Krishna consciousness?
I was trying to understand it from, yeah, sure. Okay, so we consider that to be his mercy, because I've never thought of it.
Yeah. From Brahma, it is Narad Muni who actually gave this line. And he came and gave it to Vasudev. And because of Vasudev, we got Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, we would have missed out the whole thing. And then, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who knows, someday you may meet Narad Muni also. Once Prabhupada was giving a class in New York, in a program, and Prabhupada told the devotees that Narad Muni was there. He came to listen to Prabhupada. Independence and taking in spiritual. That's the appropriate application of independence. Krishna given us independence to make the right decision. The decisions are made with independence. We have to decide. So, Krishna has given the independence to be either used for sense gratification, or the independence is to enjoy Krishna with Krishna.
So it's very senseless, like in our situation, within ISKCON. How do I know that I'm acting independently
Well, with your free will, you made a decision to join ISKCON, isn't it? That was your choice. So that you joined ISKCON and continue in ISKCON. That's the application of in the proper application of free will.
इसमें एक लाइन में था कि मनुष्य को आध्यात्मिक जीवन में
मनुष्य को
आध्यात्मिक जीवन में उन्नति करने के लिए स्त्री को छोड़ देना चाहिए। पति अगर भागते और पत्नी अगर भक्ति कृष्ण नामृत नहीं लेगी, फिर पति अपने आध्यात्मिक जीवन के उसको छोड़ देता तो किसके संरक्षण करेंगे?
हाँ, सोचो मत, हम बताएंगे। हाँ, ये जो जब ये परिवार कृष्ण का परिवार बन जाता है तब वो ये बदल जाता है। प्रभुपाद ये कह रहे हैं आम आदमी के लिए, भक्तों के लिए नहीं। भक्तों लोग के लिए हाँ, पत्नी भगवान की दासी है, बच्चे लोग भगवान के बाल बच्चे हैं, तो उसको देखभाल करना। और बाद में जब बाल बच्चे बड़े हो जाएंगे तब देख सकते हैं, हाँ, तब वानप्रस्थ, ठीक है। और तुम तो मंदिर में ही आ गए हो, और हाँ, तुम्हारे जो बाल बच्चे हैं वो तो बहुत अच्छा भक्त बन रही है।
सॉरी, ये क्वेश्चन में ड्यूटी माता जी के लिए नहीं, काफी जन ने कुछ माता जी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था उनको बार-बार कि हमारे पति ड्यूटी है क्या, आपको छोड़ देंगे कि
बोलना तो मंदिर में चले आओ तो आप छोड़ेंगे नहीं, नहीं तो छोड़ने का संभावना रहता है। हाँ? The question from Ankit Vora from USA. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Pamho, AGTSP. This verse and chapter, like the material world as the great forest of enjoyment, warns us about the futility of man-woman relationship, which can lead to bondage and encourage us to take the life of a brahmachari. How come most of the associates of Lord Chaitanya, who were preachers and acharyas, who preach by their own example, were grihasthas? Yeah. So, yeah, just as I answered right now, Ankit, do you understand Hindi?
Yeah,
He understands Hindi. So, the point is, you see, ultimate consideration is attachment to Krishna. Like the situation is not so important. And as a matter of fact, most of the people will be in household life. And now as we are seeing, like there was a time when in ISKCON most of the devotees are brahmacharis and sannyasis. But now most of the devotees are householders. So that is a natural phase, natural development. So everyone can be a pure devotee of Krishna. Our main secret is not the ashram situation. The secret is attachment to Krishna. And Prabhupada said that in Krishna consciousness, the householders are also brahmacharis. Prabhupada said in ISKCON, everyone is a brahmachari. Brahmacharis are brahmacharis, sannyasis are brahmacharis, vanaprasthas are brahmacharis, and grihasthas are also brahmacharis. Actually, grihastha brahmachari life is very difficult. Brahmachari life, sannyasi brahmachari life is easy. But grihastha brahmachari life is very difficult because In one hand, they are living within the material nature, dealing with the material nature all the time. But anyway, what is our main business is to develop Krishna consciousness. Don't worry about that so much, but main point is, don't remain attached to the allurements of material nature. The main secret actually, main point actually is to conquer sex desire. Spiritual life means conquer sex desire. So everyone's business is to conquer sex desire. Prabhupada very emphatically pointed out that this material nature is a prison house of sex desire. In normal prison, people are tied down, criminals are tied down, the prisoners are tied down with a chain. But in this material nature, they are tied down not with a chain as such, but a very subtle chain, and that is sex desire. So anyone who wants to make spiritual advancement has to overcome sex desire. And that is the goal of life. Arpit from Bhopal. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. In last lecture you told that the function of mind is to refrain us from God, and then you told the function of intelligence is also to deviate from the topic of God. So if mind and intelligence are doing the same work, then what is the difference between them, and how can we determine that whether mind is speaking or intelligence is speaking? Yeah, so you have to understand, Arpit, the function of the mind and function of intelligence. The function is what is important. It is through the mind that consciousness is flowing towards the material direction. And intelligence is facilitating one to remain entangled in the material nature. Intelligence is telling, material intelligence is telling, make a lot of money and you will have a very nice life. So, mind is not deciding, mind is acting according to the dictations of the intelligence. Both are actually trying to tie us to the material nature. But the function is, intelligence is making plans how to enjoy the material nature, and the mind is trying to enjoy the material nature. Okay, Arpit. Saurabh from Bhopal base. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. My question is, what kind of attitude we should develop if we want to preach outside, but our mind is too much engaged in the management activities of base? Okay, good question. Very practical question. Maybe this question will be answered by Ganga Narayan. So he is more involved in management. And let's see, you answer.
Actually, Rashananda is leading.
Okay, anyway, the simple answer to that is the base, the activities on the base, is it a material activity or spiritual activity? On behalf of Saurabh, can somebody answer? Is the activities of the base material activity or spiritual activity?
Spiritual activity.
Sure? So if it is spiritual activity and you are involved in that activity, then is there any problem? Aren't you preaching by managing the base? So your question is, what kind of attitude we should develop if we want to preach outside, but our mind is too much engaged in the management activities of the base. So consider that preaching, first of all, your activities in the base, taking care of the devotees in the base, is preaching. Then when you are preaching, bring them to the base. When you are preaching, you make it a point to figure out how you are going to bring them to the base. Because the base is like a shelter for Krishna consciousness. So by taking care of the base, you can preach outside, and by preaching outside, you can enhance the activities of the base. Okay. Yogesh, also from Bhopal base. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Do we also have to use different techniques to preach outside people? Up to what extent we can go? Is there any risk in it? Yes, as I said, like a devotee, a preacher, is like an expert doctor. So the doctor knows that the medicine will cure the patient, but the doctor also should know how to make the patient take the medicine. If the doctor doesn't know how to make that, he just prescribes, and the patient doesn't take the medicine, will he benefit? No. Therefore, the doctor must also make it a point to encourage the patients to take the medicine. So, preaching, in order to preach, in order to make devotees take to Krishna consciousness, you have to know how to do it. And sometimes, as I said, sometimes you have to give the medicine with a coating of sugar, sugar-coated medicine. That's the technique. Thank you. Oh, another question here. Jyoti from Vrindavan. Hare Krishna Pramho, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. I have a question. Which is the best way to serve Krishna? How to attain pure level of chanting? How to concentrate more on the name of Lord? You said you have one question. But I can see that you have at least 3 questions. What's the best way to serve Krishna? The best way to serve Krishna in this age is by preaching, which can also mean distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, direct preaching, or and chanting the holy name and making others chant the holy name. That is the meaning of preaching. You chant and make others chant. So that is the best way to please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How to attain pure level of chanting? The pure level of chanting is fix the mind on hearing. Fix the mind on hearing. So when the mind is completely absorbed in hearing, that is the pure chanting. How to concentrate more on the name of the Lord. Just keep on hearing and don't let your mind not go. Don't allow your mind to go anywhere else. Just hear and chant. That's the best way to chant attentively. More questions are coming. I thought I'll give a short class today. Prakash from Bhopal. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. If suddenly obstacle comes in our life and we are so attached to that problem and start focusing on that problem and getting less interested in bhakti, then how can we overcome that problem? Okay, when the situation like that comes, when the situation like that arises, just come to Ujjain and stay in the temple for a few days, associate nicely with the devotees, attend the temple programs, and hear and chant nicely, and you will see how all the obstacles will disappear.
गुरु महाराज, जर्सी गाय क्या गौ माता है?
हाँ?
जर्सी गाय
गौ माता है।
जर्सी गाय क्या गौ माता है?
जर्सी गाय गो है क्या?
गौ माता है जो
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ कि गो है या नहीं? हाँ?
मैं क्षमा चाहता हूँ गुरु महाराज, मुझे माफ करिएगा, लेकिन मैं जानना चाहता हूँ।
हाँ, अमेरिकन माता जी क्या माता जी है?
निश्चित रूप से मेरा प्रश्न ही ऐसा हो सकता है, हंसी उड़ाई जाए।
हाँ, गौ जर्सी गाय, हॉल्स्टन गाय सब गौ माता है, सब गौ माता है, जरूर। जैसे अमेरिकन माता जी भी माता जी हैं, वही मैं कहना था। हाँ। हरे कृष्ण, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।